It was a cold and windy evening when Maya, a well-known millionaire businesswoman, stepped out of her black car. Her long coat moved in the wind as she held the hands of her 8-year-old twins. Liam and Leia, they were excited, but Maya's face looked different tonight. She was smiling, but it was not a happy smile. It was the kind of smile people use when they are hiding something. Maya brought her children to a beautiful restaurant in the city. Soft lights shined from inside, and the smell of fresh food moved out every time the door opened. Liam said, "Wow, Mom. This place looks so fancy," Leah added. "Is it a special day?" Maya stopped for a second. She looked at her children and then at the restaurant door. "Yes," she said slowly. "Tonight is special." But her voice didn't sound excited. It sounded heavy. Almost scared, they entered the restaurant. A warm light fell on their faces. Music played gently in the background, and many rich people sat around talking and laughing. But Maya wasn't relaxed. She kept looking at the entrance again and again, as if waiting for someone she didn't want to see. Liam noticed it first. "Mom, why do you keep looking at the door?" Maya quickly shook her head. "Nothing, sweetheart. Just checking the time." But it was not the truth. She was nervous, very nervous. The waiter guided them to a table near the corner. Maya sat down slowly. Her hands trembled a little, and she pressed them under the table so the children wouldn't notice. She opened her purse and touched a brown envelope inside it. The envelope was thick, important, and dangerous. The twins kept looking at the menu, excited about the food. But Maya's heart was beating fast. She whispered to herself, "Please, not tonight." She stared at the entrance again. Every time the door opened, she felt her breath stop. She checked her phone again. There was no new message, but the last message she had received still scared her. It said, "Tonight, everything ends." That message came from someone she hoped was gone forever. Someone from her painful past? Leah suddenly asked, "Mom, who sent you that message earlier?" Maya forced a smile. "Just work, my love. Don't worry." But inside, she was full of fear. She knew that person could appear at any moment. She felt the envelope again. It was the envelope that could change everything. It was the reason she brought her children here tonight. She wanted to tell them the truth, but she didn't know how to begin. Minutes passed. The children talked and joked, but Maya heard none of it. She was lost in her thoughts, lost in her memories, lost in the past she escaped from. Then suddenly, the door opened. A strong wind from outside moved through the restaurant. Maya felt her entire body freeze. Her eyes widened. The color from her face disappeared. Her hands tightened on the envelope inside her purse because standing at the entrance was him, tall, confident, a familiar face she prayed she would never see again. He scanned the restaurant slowly, his eyes sharp and cold. Then he saw her. His expression changed into a small, dangerous smile. The twins turned to look at their mother. "Mom, what happened? Why are you scared?" Maya did not answer. She could not. Her past had just walked in. Her heartbeat grew louder. Her hands shook. She felt as if the ground under her chair disappeared. She wished she could run. She couldn't, not with her children here. The man began walking toward their table. Leah whispered, "Mom, do you know him?" Maya's voice cracked as she said, "Yes, I know him, and I hoped we would never see him again." The restaurant lights seemed brighter. The music felt louder. Everything around them slowed down as that man, her ex-husband, kept coming closer. And Maya knew. Tonight, her life was going to change. Forever. As the man walked toward their table, Maya felt her world getting smaller. Every step he took felt like a heavy drumbeat inside her chest. Liam and Leah held their forks, confused and scared. They had never seen their mother like this before. She always looked brave, strong, and full of confidence. But tonight, she looked like someone running from a storm. The man stopped in front of their table. "Hello, Maya," he said, with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Maya forced herself to stand. Her legs felt weak, but she hid it. "Armand," she whispered. "Why are you here?" Armand looked around the restaurant proudly, as if he owned the place. "It's a free country," he said softly. "A man can go anywhere he wants, even to meet his family." His eyes moved to the twins. Leah quickly held her mother's hand. Liam moved closer to his sister. They didn't know this man, but his presence made them uncomfortable. Maya took a deep breath and stepped slightly in front of her children. "You lost the right to call them your family long ago," she said. Armand laughed, but the laugh was cold. "Ah, Maya." Still dramatic. He leaned closer. "Did you really think you could hide from me forever?" Maya didn't reply. Her fingers touched the envelope inside her purse again. She needed to stay calm. She needed to protect her children. But the past was heavy, and it was standing right in front of her. Flashback. Begins, the narrator shifts to her past, the part she never tells anyone. Years ago, Maya wasn't a millionaire. She wasn't strong or confident. She was a simple girl with big dreams and a bigger heart. She married Armand because he made her feel special. In the beginning, everything looked perfect. He said the right words, brought her flowers, and promised her the world. But slowly, the real Armand appeared. He controlled her. He insulted her dreams. He blamed her for everything that went wrong. He spent her savings. And when Maya became pregnant with the twins, his anger grew even more. She tried to stay for the children. She hoped he would change. But Armand didn't want a family, he wanted power. And Maya was the easiest target. One night, when the twins were only 5 months old, Maya saw something that broke her completely. Armand shouting, breaking things, threatening her in a way that felt like the end of everything. That night, Maya made the biggest decision of her life. She left. She took her babies, grabbed whatever money she had, and walked out in the cold rain. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew she couldn't stay. Those years were the hardest. No home, no safety, no plan. But Maya worked day and night, saved every little coin, and slowly began building a small business, then a bigger business, and finally, an empire. She became a millionaire not to show off, but to protect her children, to make sure they never depended on anyone. Especially Armand. Back to present, Armand looked at Maya with a mixture of anger and amusement. "You look successful," he said. "Fancy clothes, fancy restaurant, fancy life. But tell me, Maya, how long do you think you can enjoy all this?" Maya kept her voice steady. "As long as I stay far away from you." Armand's smile dropped. He bent forward, placing his hands on the table. "Where is it?" he whispered. Maya's heart skipped a beat. "What are you talking about?" she asked. Armand's eyes darkened. "The envelope." Maya clutched her purse tighter. A waiter walked by, pretending not to notice the tension. Armand continued softly, "I know you have the documents, the proof. You think you can destroy me with that? You think courts will believe you?" Maya didn't reply. Instead, she looked at her twins. They were frightened, and she hated that he made them feel this way. She placed a hand on Liam's shoulder. "It's okay," she whispered. "Mom is here." Armand stepped closer. "This is not over," he said. "I want what belongs to me, and I always get what I want." I stared at him with quiet strength. "No," she said softly. "Not this time." Armand glared at her, then slowly walked away, but not far. He sat at a table where he could watch her easily. His eyes followed her like a shadow. Leah whispered, "Mom, who is he really?" Maya looked at the envelope, then at her children. And for the first time in years, she felt ready. "It's time you both know the truth," she said. And the night grew even darker. Maya looked at her twins, their innocent eyes waiting for answers. She knew this moment would come someday. But she never thought it would happen in a crowded restaurant with Armand sitting only a few tables away. His presence felt like a storm waiting to break. She took a slow breath, held Leah's hand, and said softly, "There are things about our past that I never told you. Tonight, I will." Liam leaned closer. "Mom, is he dangerous?" Maya didn't want to scare them, but she couldn't lie. "He was," she said, "and he still can be." The twins exchanged a worried look. But before Maya could continue, a soft knock came on her table. It was the waiter holding a small folded note. "Madam, this was left at the counter for you." Maya's heart tightened. She slowly opened the note. "Give me the envelope quietly, or your children will learn the truth in the worst way." Her fingers trembled. She looked up to see Armand watching her. His face carried a calm smile, but his eyes were sharp like a knife. Maya carefully slipped the note under her plate so the children wouldn't see it. She forced a calm voice. "Kids, stay next to me. Don't move. Everything is okay." But everything was not okay. Maya tries to tell the truth. She leaned closer to Liam and Leah. "There is something you must understand." She began, "Before we had this life, before the big house, the cars, and the business, there was a time when I was scared every day because of him." Leah whispered, "Yes," Maya said. "He hurt my heart, my dreams, and he tried to stop me from being strong." "I left him to protect you both," Liam frowned. "Then why is he here now?" That question felt like a knife. Maya looked at Armand again. He wasn't eating. He wasn't talking. He was just staring at her. "Waiting. He wants something from me," she said. "Something he should never have." The twins looked confused, but before they could ask more, Armand suddenly stood up. Maya's heart jumped. He walked slowly toward their table again, pretending to adjust his suit. People around noticed the tension now. A woman at the next table whispered to her husband. A group of teenagers stopped eating and stared. Armand reached Maya's table and leaned down slightly. "Maya, stop playing." His voice was low, dangerous. "Just give it to me." Liam stood up bravely. "Don't talk to our mom like that," Armand smirked. "Ah, so they speak now." He bent closer to Liam. "You don't know anything about your mother, or about me." "Ah." Maya stepped between them, her voice firm. "Don't you dare talk to my child." Armand's eyes darkened. "Then hand it over." Tension rises suddenly. The restaurant manager approached. "Sir, is everything all right here?" Armand quickly smiled. "Everything is fine. Just a family conversation." Maya's stomach twisted. He used the word family like a weapon. The manager hesitated but left. Armand whispered, "Last chance, Maya. Don't make this ugly." Maya forced her voice steady. "If you touch my children, I swear I will." "You will what?" He cut in. "Expose me? With that little envelope? You think anyone will believe you?" His voice rose just enough for nearby tables to hear. Maya felt everyone watching. Armand leaned closer, his breath cold. "Give it to me." Then something unexpected happened. Leah stood up, tears in her eyes. "Leave my mom alone." The entire restaurant went silent. People turned their heads. Phones were raised. Everyone expected something big now. Armand's jaw clenched. He hated attention. He hated losing control. He grabbed the back of Maya's chair with one hand and whispered harshly, "You think hiding behind these kids will save you?" Maya didn't flinch. She looked him straight in the eyes and said, "I'm not hiding. I'm preparing." "For what?" Armand growled. "For the moment you finally fall." The air felt heavy, and then a sound. Someone entering the restaurant. Loud. Maya turned slowly toward the entrance, and her breath caught in her throat because the person walking in was someone she prayed would come, but feared at the same time. Someone who could change everything. Someone who knew the truth. And the silent storm inside the restaurant was ready to explode. The moment Maya looked toward the entrance, her heart stopped. The person walking into the restaurant was Detective Rayan, a man she had trusted during the darkest months of her life. A man who knew every detail of her past, every bruise on her soul, and every secret that Armand had tried to bury. Rayan stepped inside with calm confidence. His sharp eyes scanned the room and quickly landed on Maya. Then, on Armand. His jaw tightened. Armand cursed under his breath. "Of course. You called him." Maya didn't answer. She slowly stood up, positioning herself between Rayan and the twins. She wasn't sure if she felt safe or more scared. Rayan walked straight to their table. "Maya," he said softly, "are you okay?" Before she could reply, Armand stepped in front of her. "She's fine," he said. "This is a family moment. You're not welcome here." Rayan didn't look at him. He kept his eyes on Maya, waiting for her to speak. Maya breathed shakily. "Rayhan, he knows." Rayan's face hardened. "The documents." "Yes," she whispered. The twins looked lost. Leah whispered to Liam, "What documents?" But Maya didn't answer. Her mind was racing. She knew this night was turning into something she never planned. Armand loses. His Armand suddenly slammed his hand on the table, making the plates shake. Several customers gasped. "Enough," he shouted. "Give me the envelope, Maya." Leah flinched. Liam grabbed her hand. Rayan took a step forward. "Lower your voice, Armand." Armand turned toward him with rage. "You think you can protect her? You think you can stop me?" He laughed bitterly. "You have no idea what I'm capable of." Rayan's calm expression didn't change. "Oh, I know," he said. "I've seen the files." Armand's smile disappeared. Maya placed her purse on the table. Her hands shook as she touched the brown envelope inside. For years, she kept those documents hidden pictures. Audio recordings, court reports, and names of people who helped Armand commit fraud and crimes. Everything was in that envelope. Everything. He feared everything she needed to finally break free. The truth begins to open. Maya closed her eyes for a second. She remembered all the nights she cried silently. All the times Armand screamed at her. All the fear she lived in. All the dreams she buried. And then she remembered. The twins. She slowly pulled out the envelope. It felt heavy in her hands. Heavier than anything you ever held. The entire restaurant waited in silence. People had stopped eating. Their eyes were fixed on Maya, on Armand, on the envelope that carried the truth. Armand whispered harshly, "Put it back. Now." But Maya didn't. She opened it. The sound of the paper sliding out made Armand panic. His face turned pale. He took one step forward, but Rayan blocked him. Inside the envelope were several documents, each one more dangerous than the last. Maya pulled out the first sheet, a bank statement with Armand's illegal transfers. The second sheet, a police report. Maya filed years ago, but never finished because Armand found her. The third sheet, a signed confession from one of Armand's old partners, revealing how Armand used Maya's money to run criminal deals. Armand's voice broke. "Stop, Maya. Stop." But Maya held the papers tightly. "No more running," she said softly. "No more fear." The restaurant watched as someone in the restaurant whispered, "Is he a criminal?" A man took out his phone and started recording. Others followed. Armand realized what was happening and panicked. "Stop recording. Stop now," he yelled. But the phone stayed up. This time he couldn't hide. Rayan looked at Maya. "Do you want to finish it here?" Maya looked at her children. Their eyes were wide, their small bodies shaking. She knew she couldn't hide the truth from them anymore. But she also wasn't ready to destroy their innocence in one night. "No," she said, placing the papers back in the envelope. "Not here." Armand exhaled in relief. But before he could speak, Maya added, "But I will finish it." Rayan nodded. "Then let's go somewhere safe." Armand grabbed Maya's arm roughly. "You're not going anywhere?" Liam shouted, "Leave her alone." Rayan immediately twisted Armand's wrist, forcing him to let go. "Touch her again," he warned, "and you'll be arrested right here." Maya held her children close. She took one last look at Armand, his shaking hands, his wild eyes, his downfall beginning. "Tonight," she said, "your truth finally comes out." Armand's breath hitched, and the envelope now trembling in Maya's hand held everything that would end him. The restaurant was filled with silent tension as Maya held the envelope close to her chest. Her children stood by her side, shaking but brave. Detective Rayan stayed alert, watching every move Armand made. It felt like the whole room was holding its breath. Armand's eyes were wild, now desperate, angry, cornered. "You think you can walk out with that?" He hissed. "You think you can destroy me?" Maya didn't reply. She knew anything she said would only add fuel to his rage. Instead, she stepped back toward the twins. Ready to leave the restaurant and finish this nightmare somewhere safe? But Armand moved faster, in one sudden motion. He grabbed a glass from a nearby table and smashed it on the floor. The sound echoed through the restaurant like a warning shot. People screamed. A few stood up to leave. Someone yelled, "Call security?" Armand pointed at Maya with shaking hands. "You ruined my life," he shouted. "You took my children, my money, my reputation, and now you want to take everything else." Rayan stepped forward. "Armand, stay where you are. Don't do something stupid." But Armand wasn't listening. His anger had taken over. Maya tried to push the twins behind her. "Don't look," she whispered to them. "Just stay close." Armand began walking toward her again, slow but threatening. "Give me that envelope," he growled. Or I swear Maya didn't let him finish. She took a deep breath and suddenly did something that no one expected. She walked past Rayan, past her frozen children, and straight toward the center of the restaurant. Everyone turned to watch her. Even Armand stopped walking. Maya climbed onto a small wooden platform near the waiter's station, the place where musicians sometimes performed. She stood tall, holding the envelope in the air like a flag of truth. Rayan whispered, "Oh no." "Maya, what are you doing?" Armand's face turned white. "Don't you dare." But Maya ignored him. For the first time in years, she wasn't scared. Maya's unthinkable move, she raised her voice so the entire restaurant could hear. "My name is Maya Arif," she began. "I am the mother of 2 children, and I am standing here tonight because I am done being silent." The restaurant froze. Even the kitchen staff stopped working and peeked out. She opened the envelope slowly. Armand felt the world falling around him. "Stop," he shouted. "Maya, stop." But she kept speaking. "For years, I lived in fear. I lived with a man who controlled me, cheated me, and tried to destroy my life. Tonight, he followed me here to take what doesn't belong to him." She held up the first document. "This is proof of where he sent stolen money." Murmurs filled the room. She held up another. "This is proof of the threats he made." A woman gasped loudly. Armand screamed, "Put that down." But now the whole restaurant was recording. Phones everywhere. Dozens of them. Maya pulled out the signed confession. "And this is what will end his games forever." Armand pushed past 2 tables, knocking over plates. Rayan grabbed his arm, but Armand fought him off with wild strength. "Give that to me," he roared. Maya looked right at him, calm, steady. "No," she said softly. "Not this time." Then, with her hands shaking but full of courage, she read the confession out loud. Every crime, every lie, every illegal deal. Armand roared like a trapped animal. "Stop it, Maya, stop it." He tried to climb onto the platform, but Rayan tackled him to the floor. Chairs toppled. People screamed. But not a single camera stopped recording. Armand's downfall begins. Security rushed in. 2 men grabbed Armand's arms as he kicked and yelled. Rayan pressed him down and snapped handcuffs onto his wrists. "You're finished," Rayan told him calmly. Armand looked up at Maya, his voice cracked. "You think you won? This isn't over." Maya stepped down from the platform, holding her children close. "It is over," she said gently. "For the first time. It's really over." Her children hugged her tightly. The restaurant filled with whispers, people talking about her bravery, about the truth she exposed. And as Armand was dragged away, Maya felt something she hadn't felt in years. Freedom, real freedom. The unthinkable act she performed tonight didn't just protect her children. It destroyed the monster who had hunted her for so long. But the night wasn't done yet, because outside the restaurant, something unexpected waited for her, and destiny was ready for its final move. When the police dragged Armand out of the restaurant, the tension inside finally broke like a heavy cloud releasing rain. People sighed in relief. Some clapped. Others whispered words of support to Maya, as she stepped down from the platform, holding the envelope tightly. But Maya didn't feel victory yet. Her hands were shaking. Her heart was racing. Her twins were crying softly, holding onto her legs. Rayan stayed close, watching every corner of the room to make sure Armand had no hidden friends around. "Maya," he whispered, "you were brave. Unbelievably brave." She didn't answer. She bent down and hugged Leah and Liam tightly, so tightly that the twins could feel her heartbeat through her trembling chest. "We're safe now," she whispered to them. "I promise. We're safe." But even as she said the words, a strange silence filled the room. People were staring at something behind her. Something outside the restaurant. Rayan's eyes narrowed. "Maya, look." She turned slowly, and there, standing just outside the glass doors under the streetlight, was an older woman with a long coat and tired eyes. Her hair was gray, her hands shaking as she clutched a cheap purse. Maya's breath caught. She knew this woman. It was Armand's mother, the woman who once tried to protect Maya from her son's anger, and then disappeared when things got worse. The twins whispered, "Who is she?" Maya didn't reply immediately. She took a deep breath, walked to the door, and stepped outside. The cold night air touched her face, calming her for the first time in hours. Armand's mother, Farah, looked at her with wet eyes. "I heard he found you," she whispered. "I'm so sorry." Maya froze. She hadn't heard those words, not from this woman, not from anyone from Armand's family. Farah had always been silent. Scared of her own son, too scared to help. But now, she looked broken, Farah said, her voice shaking. "I came because I knew he would do something terrible tonight." She moved closer. "He's my son, yes, but he is also a man I failed to stop." Tears filled her wrinkled eyes. "I wanted to protect you back then, but I was weak. I was afraid. I lost control of him long ago." Maya didn't know what to say. Her past and present were mixing in front of her like storms crashing together. Farah continued softly, "He will face the law now. And you deserve peace." Maya swallowed hard, feeling a weight lift from her chest. "I don't hate you," she said. "I hated the silence. But not you." Farah reached out but stopped halfway. "May I speak to the children?" Maya looked at her twins standing behind the glass door with Rayan. She nodded gently. Liam and Leah stepped outside. Holding each other's hands, Farah knelt down. "I may not be a part of your life," she whispered, "but I want you to know. Your mother is the strongest woman I have ever seen." Leah wiped her tears. Liam nodded shyly. Farah stood slowly and stepped back. "I will not disturb your life again. I only wanted to say the words I should have said years ago." Maya nodded. Grateful for the closure she didn't expect, Farah walked away into the night quiet. Small and finally free from her own guilt, a gentle ending. Rayan came outside. "Maya," he said softly, "you're safe now. Legally, completely, fully safe. Armand won't get near you again." Maya looked at her twins, two little souls she had protected with everything she had. She knelt down, hugging them tightly. "We're starting a new chapter now," she whispered. "A life without fear." Liam looked up at her. "Mom, are we going home?" "Yes," Maya said, smiling for the first time that night. Home. As they walked to the car, the city lights shimmered above them. The night still held the memory of fear, but the air felt lighter, almost hopeful, for the first time in years. Maya felt something she thought she had lost forever. Peace. Real peace. She opened the car door, helped the twins inside, and before getting in herself, she looked at the sky. A new dawn was waiting, and this time, it belonged to her.